And she always introduced me as her kid sister. So she said now, as a special present for her 50th anniversary, would I now become the older sister and introduce her as the baby sister, kid sister. So I want to tell you in front of our whole family, as your 50th anniversary, no way. I can't. When two people find each other, when two people find with each other fresh beauty in everyday living, and open their hearts to each other by trusting and sharing and giving, when two people share with each other a life of contentment and fun, then it's obvious that Laurie and Avram, in all the years that I know them and have seen them grow, I never heard any argument between them. I'm sure they must have had and must have done it behind closed doors, but never truly out in the open. All I saw was great respect and love one to the other. And so I learned from my big sister how to be. And Baruch Hashem, we also never fight in public, only quietly. But she always was for me, and certainly my brother Joe, as I was growing up with them, they were really my mentors and my mainstays. And role models, that's true. And the truth is this, that Florence and Joe, their beginning was a very precarious beginning. Those of you who know the background know that when they were born as twins, they were premature twins. There were no incubators in those days. And the doctors really didn't have much hope for them. She was 1.5 pounds.
No, I was a pound.
He was 1.5 pounds.
So you were heavy.
He was 1.25 pounds. Then when you stop to realize how Baruch Hashem, how what's come from these two beautiful, beautiful doros and children, nieces and nephews that I adore from both sides with their children, that they have been zocheh to bring up generations like this, and that my Avram, our Avram, also came from a very precarious situation. Came from Europe, and Baruch Hashem made through Yisurim in Europe. They both found each other here, and we are so grateful, Baruch Hashem, that we've come to this day in their lives. It's wonderful. Aaron and I couldn't be happier. It's just a blessing for us to have this whole family as our family. We adore you all. We hope and pray that it will be for many good years, and we'll make parties and simchas, and we should all celebrate together. I hope in Yitz Hashem we'll always be together for smachot, the way they say. Soon we have 2 weddings coming up. And now I want to read you a fact that Sari sent us from Florida. This is our daughter. She says, for our aunt and uncle so very dear, who in our hearts we hold so near, as a young girl growing up, in their home I would often supper. The closeness that we always shared and their love of my husband that I finally snared means so much to me. I hope they know how much I love them. I always try to show. And this message doesn't only come from me, but from Nissim and baby to be makes 3. So on this wonderful occasion, your 50th anniversary, to our dear aunts and uncle, we wish only simchas to be. So I kiss you both.
Very
nice. Wonderful. And Rochelle is going to read from a friend. Rochelle. This is from a friend. This is from Fruit. Another fact. Very good. Dear Rabbi Mrs. Garfinkel, to understand, to really care, always trying to be right there, to feel what's in another's heart while taking an active role in part, always on each other's side, using Shalom Bayis as your guide, showing loyalty and devotion along with a strong emotion. 50 years of love that's true, with all eyes admiring you. May Hashem grant you many more, with health and nafas all in store. Love always from a And then we have a telegram from President Clinton, but I forgot to bring it. That's right.
So then they hold 5 seconds.
When you from the note up front.
Consider still. I think I should have stayed in chair because I'll probably have my head on those CDs and I'll break the chair. They'll probably kick me out. I'll learn you loud back. Happened before. I don't want to have it again. Sophia, I read you a poem if you don't mind.
I just love it.
Bubbe and Zaide, I met you 2 years ago when life was so interesting and sweet. It was at a Hanukkah party the first day of the week. Not really a rhyme, but
Everyone is taking poetic license. That's all right.
I'm a horrible poet.
Okay.
The advice that you give me, the words that you speak, I hope I implement them in my life each day of the week. You brought me a granddaughter, so nice and sweet. Seeing her smile brings me to absolute happiness when I leave. You spoke so nicely at our board. Now let's drink some wine by the quart. The car ride to Josh's wedding was so lively, so loud. I'm not talking about my driving, I'm talking about the crowd. Of course, the driving is. Zaidy was sitting next to me, riding shotgun, the bravest guy I know, going up to Muncie on the run. Zaidy, I love your sunglasses and hats, and your ties too. Thanks for accepting me. That is the greatest thing I can ever ask for you. The love that you two possess, the wisdom that you have shared, don't let up for a second and give me all that I can bear. The grandparents that I never had, I hope you don't mind if I think of you as that. I am so lucky to have been found by a beautiful Kala. The family is so special. I hope if you don't mind if I consider you that.
Very nice. Look at that. Beautiful.
He is beautiful.
I mean, he did like split.
All right, he's okay.
Very nice.
Jared's great. Great.
Go do it.
Very good. Son-in-laws or
Sons-in-law.
sons-in-laws?
Yeah, everybody.
Well, you guys have Shani and
Johnny.
First Bobby and I Sunday.
Ready? The bride. Yeah.
Eating raisins and cornflakes on Shabbos morning.
Okay.
They always make sure we eat a big breakfast on Shabbos morning before Shul. Listening to stories about Zaidy's life. We used to go on Shabbos and we would sit down. We all sat in the same chair. Zaidi would tell stories about schools and growing up and stories out there. My Zaidi has the best talent. He's able to go ahead and make a trumpet. So I'm going to become good at Zaidi.
Like this. Play the trumpet, Zaidi. Oh, why don't we dance on the night?
We used to lie in bed like in the morning. We'd hear about Shabbos morning, wake up, hear Zaidi playing this trumpet.
Not a real trumpet. Okay.
But my personal memory is Zoe told me how to tell time. I couldn't tell time, and I went to the house and I was like, you can't tell time. It's time, you're 14 years old. It's time you can't tell time. She used money to show me how to tell time. She recorded the nickels on and somebody that had caught on that. Thank you for that talent.
What did you say? The quarter after a nickel? How did you teach time to get? When is it your birthday time?
I'll show you after.
We also always remember going over to your house in Canarsie and playing on the yellow fuzzy carpet.
Yellow fuzzy carpet. And remember the scary staircase to go to the that's hard. I go to the neighbors. We would crash across with us and we'd puppet that stocking. We go to her house. We always make I figured everybody's brother. Like that was a always project and art in the past. But it really was a special thing that I was lucky enough to remember that. Okay.
What else?
Say it.
baby's bag of cashews.
They always have like a bag of cashews on Pesach. Every time he's very exciting stuff, I don't know. So we remember his bag of cashews.
Whenever children go out and sing on Shana, Zaidy would always give the thing that we would always give us as bread.
Not only for Afikomen, but also for Mamish time, we always get presents. Even so we were like, you know, in our teens, so that was nice. We also remember eating soggy lady fingers on Pesach. Zaidy gets the wonderful minute we're not allowed to eat gebrach, which I'll soon find myself free of.
That's why she's marrying you today.
I asked him, I had to know. That was
Funny first question. Being rough.
Marry Jay because he's rough.
That's why they're getting married.
But, you know, we remember
She doesn't have to wife,
eating all the, you know, non-Muslim stuff. The next one is mine, so I'll say also learning Torah, learning more of Zaidy as I went on, and I was developing Torah.
She learned some more.
She also learned with Zaidy, and very special to them. Okay. Say it. I know what you're doing.
No, come on, say it.
I want to hear.
I know.
I'll say this one, it's my favorite one. Okay. Throughout all the generations, and every child is able to play this one thing that Bubbe and Zaide had in the living room. And it was this Fisher Price trial.
Everybody knows it.
Every
child knows it. Yeah. The horn is broken, and you know. We all went through that toy. And also just stories of remembering going to King's Plaza and like always think how nice rich people have. You always talk to everybody and how, you know, when you're younger it's a little embarrassing. Your grandma's talking to everybody, but as you get older you realize like what an incredible meet that is to be nice to everybody and talk to them and always make people feel special and warm and loved.
Beautiful. Very nice. So Jay, you asked her to marry you.
I have to say that, for me, this is a very special occasion for many, many reasons. This whole week for me was probably the week of the most simcha that I've ever experienced in my life. First of all, because of my engagement to Shani, which made my life. And I kept telling Shani that I couldn't believe that I could be so lucky, that I could merit, that I could have possibly done anything in my life that would merit me somebody as wonderful as she is. And then I looked at the week's Parsha, and it was B'chukasai, and this really speaks about reward and punishment. But something was odd, and I said that really Hashem broke the rules for me, because usually the concept is if you do good, you're rewarded, and if you do bad, you're punished. And I knew I didn't do anything that good that could merit me her, so I must be prepaid in some way. This must be prepayment for something that I must have to do in the future. So.
That's very married.
Start to pay up.
Also, I just want to say that, you know, looking at Shani and her family and her grandparents, it's just very obvious that this is a family that is full of warmth and love and kindness and just wonderful, wonderful things that I'm so proud to be a part of. You know, when we study Torah, you know, we read the Parsha every week, and at the end of the year, we start over again. So Rabbi Min, who was a person that we go to see speak, he said something very special. He said, why do we read the Parsha, and then the next year we celebrate it and we read it over? You could say to yourself, we read it already once. What's the point of reading it again? I learned that pasuk already. Why do I have to learn that pasuk again? And obviously the answer is because Torah is so full of knowledge and so full of truth that you can never really fully learn it. You can learn it your whole life. You can learn it over and over and over again. And each time it brings something new and something wonderful to your life. It's the same thing with two people who join together in a future together. Basically, you never stop learning from each other. Every day, every week, every month, every year, you learn something new. And obviously, that's what keeps it strong, that's what keeps it going, like the Torah. So for you to be together for 50 years is a shining example of what learning and growing together is all about. And it's just such an amazing thing to see. I hope that we could also sit one day with our family and our grandchildren and our children after 50 years and also become Sel Elokim, become holy like you.
I know a lot of people have gone bankrupt for their work, so.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Terrific.
It's okay, that kid.
You got two great guys there, too good to me.
Show me a person who smiles all the time and I'll show you a moron. The days I went around not smiling and I felt like a moron not smiling, so I went back to my way. I did it. Frank Sinatra would say, I did it my way.
Ah, yes. Now we go to the whole thing.
Oh, you know, when the news got out that you're celebrating your 50th anniversary, a lot of people have been coming up to me, and they know that I went to the right yeshivas, and all the kids went to the right yeshivas, but they wanted to know if in our house, well, we really brought up the Torah way. Was there really Torah in the house? They know I've learned Torah, but was the Torah in the house? Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is none of their business. These people, most of them are this, the other half are anti-Semites. But
He was so serious, I
but I'm here to say, you know, I'm here to say that it's true, that we were indeed brought up the Torah way. Now, for me to say it is, I could be just making you look good. I mean, I could say, you know, but the Torah itself, there are a lot of hidden codes in the Torah, as you know, hidden codes. Now, yesterday we had some hidden codes, but they weren't really that hidden. Yesterday we finished Vayikra, we said Chazak, we celebrated the end, and the same Shabbos we started the new Bar Mitzvah, we celebrated Bar Mitzvah. That's exactly what we're doing today. We're not only celebrating the past 50 years, but we are starting the next 50 years, and we're celebrating the beginning of another 50 years. This new Bar Mitzvah, which talks about we have to leave now Har Sinai, and we're learning about the Mishkan. We're taking Har Sinai with us in the Mishkan. Later it goes into the Mizbeach, and then the Shul becomes our Har Sinai. But I want you to know, your house, for us, that was our Har Sinai. You, simply by being you, simply by doing things, the way you spoke to people, the way you made friends, beautiful friends, so quickly, the way, just the way you lived, just the way you spoke to us, family, innkeepers, storekeepers when you went shopping. All this.
Innkeepers.
I happen to be very, very old, all right? And in my first life. Okay? So, and the way you just talk to people, and it's an unbelievable thing. This was Torah that we were seeing without even realizing that you were doing it for us. And this is something that I've tried to do in my home and all the children, and you can see it in the grandchildren, how we've carried on. You, for them, were Har Sinai. I think our family, it's like a book, our family. It really is. The cover to the book, the binding, the glue, that's you. The pages, the children, the grandchildren, the spouses that are coming for us, these are pages that you are constantly writing and rewriting. You know, they say that you cannot judge a book by its cover. I think in this case, they can. And like our parents said, Chazak, Chazak, the nis chazek. Chazak, be strong, that's for the first 50 years of your life. Chazak, that's be strong for the next 50 years of your life. And the nis chazek, and we will be strengthened, it's because of your strength that it makes all of us strong. So we look to you for another 50 years of that strength. So there is Torah in this house.
Wow, he's not just a kid, it's really.
All right, now I'm not done yet because you know it is Bar Mitzvah. This happens to be my mitzvah. So I can now give you my Pelbo, or I can give you my Maimah, or my English speech. And if you like, I even have my lottery numbers that I lost. I have a whole page. $20 worth. I'm going to read the numbers to you. My cousin.
It's an honor you know us apart.
I do look alike.
Edie told us last Sunday at the Simcha
that we're all supposed to say something today.
Could you be a little louder,
Why didn't you tell me that last night?
Oh, I'm sorry. But come a little closer.
Of course, what I'm supposed to say. And a conversation that Baruch and I had with each other over the menu for Shabbos became the subject of what I'm going to say tonight. Baruch adores chicken soup.
Hey.
By the way, Brooke, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Baruch is very special to all of us because he's named after the Zaidy that raised all of us for Baruch. So Baruch has always had a very special feeling in all our hearts because of that name.
If you don't mind, I told the other side of the family he's named after my mother's father.
Only if you don't mind. Only if you don't mind.
As long as you don't tell the other side.
Oh, well, we'll get together with the other group. We'll know how to handle it.
That's funny. That is.
I realize that.
Baruch adores chicken soup. In fact, it's the only thing he eats on a Friday night because by the time he's finished with the chicken soup, he doesn't really want anything else. And I usually keep a supply of chicken soup in the freezer because I make a very big shittle, is that the word?
Shittle is
That's
good.
close enough, yeah.
Shittle is good.
A very, very big pot of soup. And this Shabbos, I looked in the freezer and there wasn't any. And I was wondering if I could start a new tradition that after Memorial Day, there is no more chicken soup. You know, you can have whites and there are all kinds of rules. I wanted to slip another one under. And he stood there and he was really upset when I told him there wasn't going to be chicken soup. Then he said something to me that I'll never forget. Josh said that he's going to go and he's going to buy the chicken and I should give him the list of ingredients. He's going to buy them all. And when Josh said that, Baruch looked up and said, "Daddy, you've restored my Shabbos. Making the chicken soup, you've restored my Shabbos," which I told to my father. And then my father right away said, "I have to make chicken soup." So I went to work on Friday and I had nothing better to do but come home and make a chicken soup. But I had to skin all the chicken because I didn't make it a day in advance and I didn't want the fat to be there. And as I was peeling the carrots and doing the parsnips and doing all of these different things, and thinking about what to say tonight, it occurred to me that a 50-year marriage is very much like a chicken soup.
I got it here. The freezer?
She'll get to it.
There are a lot of different ingredients that go.
Is that your big son?
This is Donnie. You know, I'm glad this is Brooklyn. This is your hoodie. This is Donnie.
Tell her who I am too because
Oh, this over here.
No, I just hear. I'm just like.
Just a minute.
Wow.
Alright, I guess we're gonna start.
As a result of all of these ingredients, something very mellow. And something very satisfying and something very nourishing. And the matzo balls float so that you float off with it. It gives you a very good feeling. I realize there's a lot, well, from my own personal experience, I know that you never have any kind of disharmony. And I really admire those doors. They're very thick. But I know, in more realistic, according to the Simpsons and Married with Children, you see it like the way it is. Over the course of the years of the marriage,
With my 4 cousins, visiting on Sukkot when we would come and eat Sukkot dinner with you. You made, along with Aunt Rosie and Uncle Aaron, an engagement party for Stanley and myself. You welcomed Stanley into the family. We watched you dance together, and everything is just wonderful, and we love you.
She's our interpreter. I'll interpret, yes. 50 years.
Deep breath. All right, now you've done it,
Years have come and gone. It doesn't seem to be so long. A couple very loving, as you can see, who've raised a lovely family. From Poland to Brooklyn, out of Queens, through a country station new, a fine shidduch was waiting there, and Abba and Ima became a pair. Through the years, their love has shown, and it's easy to see how it has grown. For children, the fruits of their life together, working together through fair and foul weather. And now Mazel Tov we say to the happy pair of May Esrim, a long life to share. And I just wanted to, I was mentioning to somebody else, I read the roses around 2 weeks ago, you know what I was writing down. Love, Yodi Ernest, Josh and Ariel, and then Javi and Jared, and Shani. And then Sam was writing, I said, no, now here's me Shani and Jay. And it's like, look at this, I have like couples, and all my family is like couples. It's like so, it's like so amazing that all this time has passed. But now I'm so good that they're here because they can see what a good marriage is and what they have to look forward to if they can follow Im and Abba and their marriage as a model for their marriage. Then Yis Hashem in 50 years also they'll be able to sit with their children and their grandchildren.
Would you like to know that one word that's so important that I found to be very important? One word, and it's respect. You have to respect the one you're living with, and he has to respect you. If you have respect, you have everything. You really do. And I think that I try to transmit this to my children, and I find that life can get very easy if you respect each other. Otherwise, it can be very difficult and very, very rough.
Now I want to, first of all, Michelle, but I want to tell you, I know that Florrie likes to speak when she comes together, and I knew that this would be a surprise for her this evening. She wouldn't be able to prepare. And so I took the liberty of bringing with me what she wrote for the 49th anniversary. I had it in my book, so I brought it today. I want you to hear it because it's really very beautiful writing. Florrie, would you say?
I hope I have the same idea this year that what I had last year.
And being this is your 51st anniversary.
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 minute.
Boy.
Let her look at it again.
All right. You wrote it very big, so we're good. Okay. Well, all these thoughts are in my heart, so I'm going to say it. And I'm going to ask Avram to please stand up.
Marry her again. Look at all the things. Okay, this is what I said last year, and it is repeating. Avram, look at me.
Same exact words. Look at this. It's scary.
Getting dangerous. It's deja vu.
No words can express what you mean to me. I was the closed door, and you were my key. You opened up my heart, and you unlocked my mind, discovering treasures I thought I'd never find. Your beautiful smile washes away my tears and my fears. Your gentle voice calms me down, causing a smile to appear instead of a frown. No words can fully express what you mean to me. For you, I'd like to win that big lottery because you are the closest friend I will ever see. We are two people, but together we're one. Each one alone is incomplete. I'm going to cry. We're not done. I thank Hashem Hakim. I thank... You finish it with me. I thank Hashem.
Thank Hashem for what
turned out to be the wonderful gift Hashem gave to me. My turn. I got my bearings back, I'm sorry. A grandmother and a grandfather, Ethel and Bora, who raised my twin brother Joe and me. My baby sister, Tribe, makes 3. Our mother Yehudis, who gave birth to us, and our mother Hannah, who raised us. From day one, without a complaint or a fuss, they all went through a difficult trial with a smile. I thank Hashem for a husband of Ben Torah, who shines so bright. From you're truly a diamond, and you're casting your beauty.